Well, good morning, Genesis Church. We hope that your week is off to a great start so far. We are already on day 10 of our 21 days of prayer and fasting, and we hope that it is going great for you so far. So this morning, I just wanted to share a few thoughts with you that I had over today's devotion. My daughter Parker recently started playing club volleyball, which is quite the step up from the level of competition that we've had before, where it was just one game a week at the Y with barely one practice, and I was her coach. And I didn't know a whole lot about volleyball, but we made do. And so she's been practicing over the last few months in preparation for tournaments to start. She had her very first tournament just a couple days ago, and we ended up spending 12 hours at the gym that day. Hundreds of people were there, multiple teams there cheering on their teams, cheering on their kids. I've been just a huge sports fanatic my whole life. I've played just about every sport. I watch every sport. Even though it makes my wife incredibly angry that I watch sports that much, it's still something that I just love and I'm passionate about. And I found myself Saturday night rooting in a way that I never have before. You see, my daughter and her team fought all day long, and in their very first tournament made it all the way to the championship game that night. We were one of two teams left in the gym. Everybody else had gone home. And I was standing in the back behind where everybody was sitting, and I was standing. I thought my heart was going to jump out of my chest. I was jumping up and down. I was clapping. I was cheering, as were a bunch of other parents that were there watching their kid. You know, it's cool, and it's a whole lot of fun to cheer on your favorite team in your favorite sport that you have. But, man, there's just something different whenever it's your child that's out there. You know, I wanted her to win so bad, to experience what winning a championship and winning a tournament feels like. Unfortunately, they fell just 3 points short in that last set. They did so good. But man, I was looking around and something really kind of dawned on me. I just saw how passionate we were in that moment for a 12 and under girls volleyball tournament that in reality, at the end of the day, probably doesn't matter a whole lot. It may stick with them for a little bit, and it's cool and it's a whole lot of fun. But it just doesn't last. It doesn't bring fulfillment, right? We're passionate about it. We love it, but it is nothing compared to what being passionate about Jesus can bring you in your life. You know, one of the reasons that we participate in 21 days of prayer and fasting is to do just that. It's just to reignite a passion that we have for Jesus. You know, we were created to be passionate people, and we were created to worship something. And if we're not worshiping our Creator, we will find ourselves worshiping something, be it sports, whether that we're playing or that our kids are playing or that that college students are playing somewhere that we're rooting for. You know, we are passionate people. And this morning in Psalm 100, it said, "Shout for joy to the Lord, all the earth. Worship the Lord with gladness. Come before Him with joyful songs." You see, when we know what Jesus has done for us, how can we not be anything but passionate? Well, the answer is that we tend to fill our lives with things that ultimately don't matter. We get so busy and wrapped up with outside distractions that we begin to just lose that fire, that passion, that fervor that we have for Jesus. And so I want to encourage you as we continue this 21 days of prayer and fasting for 11 more days to just stay strong, but ultimately remember that we are coming before Him passionately. God wants to hear from you. He wants to hear your cries. He wants to hear your prayers. And we need to be passionate and joyful as we come before Him in our time over the next few days. And remember, just because it's 21 days of prayer and fasting, that doesn't mean at the end of 21 days that we should go back to what we were doing. No, it should just be a step into meeting with Him every day and to creating a passion and creating a fire and a desire in our life to spend time with Jesus, to come before Him, and to just keep that fire and that passion going. Genesis Church, we love you so much. If you need anything at all, know that we are here for you. We love you. We're praying for you, and we hope that you have a great day.